He's been ruling the earth for long enough. He didn't do right by the Greeks. He didn't do right by the Romans. Didn't do right by the in the Renaissance period. All right, and he ain't doing right now. And that wound being healed, man. All right, being Rome all over, been all of those into one, man. He's still not doing right.
He's a powder keg of wickedness.
Funnel cake.
It says, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Which is the elect, man. All right? He's going to show who his people are. That's why you read in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, they like, man, I know he one of the chosen people. All right? No, not him, man. That's what it's going to be, because people think that this is a game, man.
Even us, whom he has called, not the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Yeah, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles, man. The Israelite foreigners, all right? The ones of our nation that was Hellenized, you know? Keeping the Greek customs, following after the Greek ways, okay? So those are the Gentiles that it speak about. That's why Paul said, know ye not that ye were once Gentiles? Followed after these dumb idols? That's what makes you a Gentile, because a Gentile is what? A non-Israelite. So if you're not following the Lord, you're considered a non-Israelite, man. At a point in time, we was once Gentiles, following after dumb idols. Like this Christmas fit, New Year's coming up, you know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day, I'm gonna get my sweeties, all the sweets in the world. Looking forward to every holiday coming up, man. Now, I be forgetting that their holiday's coming up. Except for the ones that they let me have off from work.
Right. If you get that time and a half for it.
Man.
But so how it happened, Peter was in a trance and he seen the cloth come down with the unclean and the common meats on it, and he said that he had never eaten anything uncommon or unclean. But the thing that was uncommon and unclean was like he said, the Israelite foreigners, the people that were Israelites by blood, but their mind state was a Gentile. They were keeping the customs of the Romans, were keeping the customs of the places that they were living. And I'm saying this for the edification for the camera and as well as the brother, because that's what we've been reading in Acts. So at that time, that's when Cornelius had called him, and that's when he went to Cornelius. And Cornelius, who was a man of the Roman band, or the Italian band, so he was basically a Roman soldier, but he was a Jake. All right, so then that's when this word went not only to people who knew that they were Israelites, but the people who were keeping other customs as well, because knowing the times, there was a difference between the two. They didn't really mesh with each other. This is verse 25. It says, as he saith also, O see, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Yep, going back into us finding out who we are, man. At Hosea, the 1st chapter. Because we lost our heritage, and now we're coming back to our heritage, preaching to our people the word of the Heavenly Father of salvation, of repentance.
And he said, and it shall come to pass pass that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there they should be called the children of the living power. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
Yeah, a remnant shall be saved, man. All right, that same elect, that chosen that he always had. Those same 7,000, not actual 7,000, but a complete number of people that he had that would serve him, man. All right, that'll fight for salvation, that will stand with great boldness, sacrifice their life on this side, man. Okay, choosing rather to suffer with the people of the Most High than enjoy pleasures of sin for a season.
For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of the Sabbath, except the Lord of Sabaoth, except the Lord of Sabaoth had led us a seed, we had been of Sodom and had been made unto Gomorrah. Yeah, we can
yeah, so I went into there, man. Like I said, we was dealing with a couple of natives, and shit, you could tell, man, they was mourning, you know. They wasn't in a right state of mind, but shit, hey, our people is our people. We on the bottom, you know. We deal with pain how we deal with it, because we're not perfect, all right. We're coming back into this truth, man. You know, you fight for perfection, man. Okay. Stop.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
Yeah. Can we get the picture real quick?
It's on the back of the missile one.
Missile?
The one karate foot on.
Your big foot off, bro. And I stood upon this, Revelation 13 and 1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy.
That's right, so this is talking about the beast right here. And all these heads represent the different heads of different states and countries of Esau's rulership, which is mainly the European nations, from the French, the German, the Spanish, the French, the British, the Greeks, you know, all these different heads.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
That leopard right there is talking about Alexander the quote, Great, okay?
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Go ahead, keep going.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
So it's basically talking about different Edomite strongholds. Like I said, that leopard was Alexander the Great. All right, the quote great, we'll say, the freak. The bear represents Russia. The lion represents Great Britain, and the dragon is the Roman Empire. All right, all different Edomite strongholds, all different Edomite powers. It said that the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Yep, keep going.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
And that's talking about how America and the Roman Empire are the same. Okay, it's reincarnated. When you look around, you see all these roads, you see all these different highways. It was the same thing in Rome. You look at our state buildings, it's the same thing in Rome. You look at our national bird, the eagle, it was the same thing in Rome. Okay, how we have a Senate, how we have the two-party system with the Democrats and the Republicans. This is Rome all over. And that's how the deadly wound was healed, and it's reinvigorated, reincarnated, so to speak.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
Right, and back then, Rome was running things. And who's running things now? America. And America's gonna fall the same as Rome fell.
See if they got anything in that definition.
Come.
This is Strong's G 2296 for the word wonder. It says to wonder at, marvel, to be wondered at, to be had in admiration. Right? Because if you look at it, America, all of these nations, all right, hey, Revelation the 18th chapter. Okay, it goes and shows you it goes and shows you why all of these nations look forward to America, man. Because they feed off of America. Okay, America is going over here and there, taking, the things that, not taking, but doing business with, all right, the exports and imports with these other nations, okay, as well as the great army that they have, just the things that they look forward to America being this. Hey, shit, Wycliffe John thought this was the kingdom of heaven. He thought it was paved with gold over here, man. He thought the streets was paved with gold, but the scriptures speak about the kingdom of heaven streets being paved with gold. So he basically thought that this was the kingdom of heaven.
I'm going to get this precept real quick, concerning what you just said. This is Acts chapter 8, verse 9. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was someone great. Now when you go into that word bewitch, it's the same word, it's that marvel. They marveled at him. He caused the people to go off, and they marveled, thinking that he was someone great. And that's how the people in America are. They think that America is great, that this is a great rulership, that everything, things couldn't be better.
Because of their sorceries.
Exactly. They're under their spell.
Yep.
It was Agatha all along.
It says, Revelations 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him.
And that's how America is. Who's going to stand up to America? Who's going to come fight? We'll drop a nuclear bomb on you. Ever since, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, no one's been really wanting to go heads up, except Russia, the Cold War. But that never came to pass. And now, what's going to happen? You're going to have a coalition of countries come up, and what does the scripture say? Are they now becoming weak as we? Because America's not the only one who has a nuclear weapon. Now, Pakistan has nukes, and India has nukes, China has nukes, and Russia has nukes, and France, and England, and South Africa. All these different countries have nuclear weapons and are able to do the same thing. Now, they might not have the same number of them, but when you add them all together and you put them against America and the fake Jews over there in the land, it's not even a contest. And then that's when it's going to come to pass, when it says, all of these that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow. So when it says who is able to make war with him, it's a rhetorical question. Because going heads up, no, no one can make war with America. But that coalition is going to bring America down. Go ahead, bro.
It says, verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies.
Go ahead.
And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
That's right, man. So you have America that's came up this space of time about 350 years since the 1600s, the early 1600s about, and it's been speaking these, what's it said, great blasphemies. Look at this. This is blasphemy. All right, this is slandering the name of the true Lord, Yahweh Shai. Not only that, you put the children of Israel in slavery. You raped, robbed, and murdered us. All the atrocious things that you did to these people. You got to pay for that. Yes, sir.
It says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwelt in heaven. And you know, part of that is what? His whole system. Setting himself up to be as he's the Most High. Like the brother that brought, you know, Caesar Borgia, painting the disciples white, painting the Lord white, all right? Calling himself the God's chosen people, the people of that land. All of that is blasphemy, man. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them.
That's right, so that's why we're on the bottom at this point in time. It's not a coincidence. We went off from our power. The Lord wanted to chastise us. At the same time, he had to humble Esau. He had to harden his heart like we just read. Okay? He had to make his power be known and to show his greatness. So he put the true kings of the earth under the foot of the most base man of the earth, so that when he comes back to show his strength, you can see, and it's going to manifest. So that's good.
Now this is going back, right? This is going back to Jacob and Esau, man. Because this beef go way back. It ain't just starting in America. You know, it ain't just starting in America. This is Genesis 27 and 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
That's right. So he didn't do it right then because it's a custom to, you know, to mourn your parents. There's a certain amount of time you come in the morning, but after that he said his own. You know, because his dad, both of their dads just died. You know, as mad as he was, he had enough common sense and dignity to not, you know, go off right then in that moment. But he said after this, his own. And that's that perpetual hatred that he kept in his heart from then until this day.
Yeah, because, well, Isaac was in the process, you know, because he had became blind and things, and that's like, you know, you about to be on your way out. All right, so he's like, because imagine he would have killed Jacob while Isaac was still alive. That would have caused too much. He would have basically killed Isaac, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He would have been the reason for him it would have been so much on his heart, man. All right, so he said, hey, once that's all good, yeah, I got something for Jacob, and that perpetual hatred, man. All right? Esau's never showed us love, man. Okay? He's never showed us love.
Which is why it's so suspicious when he tries to give you the Maxine first. Because he's never showed us love. where on this rap sheet is love? You got rape, you got robbery, you got murder, you got
deceit, mischief,
exactly, unbalanced weights, unjust laws. Nowhere on there is goodwill towards Israelites.
Here it is. You got us in this society that we built up, and you feel like because you give us housing and food stamps that's good enough. Like, no, you're keeping us on the bottom. You're just giving us crumbs, man. All right? You're keeping us crippled, man. You won't allow us to stand up on our own feet. And when we was on our own feet, you did what? You went and bombed the shit, man. With Black Wall Street. Because you can't have us prosper, but you can have us do okay as long as we up under your rule, man.
Right.
All right. As long as our women keep the men out the house, and the men keep gang banging on each other and killing each other and selling drugs to each other, you're totally fine, man. But once we pick this up, you got a problem. Now we the only ones that get their videos cut off YouTube and stuff. All right. Well, you got a lot of whistleblowers now too. If they starting to cut, you go, man. Brother sent the video at 12:30. I went to that I think it was like close to 2 o'clock. This video is unavailable. You know? Why? Because they try to hide who they are, man. They try to hide the things that they got in process. All right? To where a video will be up and it's speaking too much truth or revealing their secrets, and they gotta clip it, man. We gotta use code words and all of that, or they clip our videos.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm does not like this truth coming out, man.
All right, back in Revelations 13:7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwelt upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Can you read that last precept one time?
It's Revelations 13:8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Yeah, so
Revelations 13:8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
right, so everyone's following after the so-called white man. Go ahead.
Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Because whose name is written in the book of life? The elect. The elect is not going to follow after the so-called white man. The elect's not going to take this mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, which we're going to get to. But they're going to worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So that same energy that you gave us, we're going to give back to you. You led our people into captivity, so you're going to be led into captivity. Okay? We came under you, and we had to serve hard bondage and servitude, and you're going to get that in double unto double according to your works.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
That's right. You did so many egregious things to us, man. You hung us. You had the babies for alligator bait. You threw us overboard and changed the shark's migration. You gave us smallpox blankets. You're shooting us down in the streets. You throw us in prison and give us unjust time for lower crimes, or the same crimes but different, like the crack laws basically. You sell crack, you get 20 years. You get the same amount of cocaine powder, and you get probation. This is what you've done. You've done this to us. So you're going to get that in double and double and double.
Just to add to what the brother's saying, the book of Psalms, it says that they're going to receive sevenfold into their bosom the iniquity that they've done. That 7 representing completion. All right, so not taking what the brother says, actually land backing, because like you said, he that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Whose blessing is the sword? All right, Esau Edom. He uses it to its perfection, man. All right, so he's going to receive sevenfold unto his bosom the things that he's done upon the earth, starting with the things that he's done to these people on his side, and just the way he deals in general, man. All right, when it says the earth languisheth, that's why, because he doesn't keep the land Sabbath. He doesn't let the land rest. He's constantly digging into the earth. And the earth is tired of Esau Edom. So hey, all these things are going to come back upon his head sevenfold, representing that completion. All right.
Go back up to the about the part about the lamb. I'm gonna read that again and then get a precept to it. Revelations 13 and 8, it says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world."
So it says so they said they were not written in the book of life of the Lamb. All right, so that means that they're not a part of that ministry of the elect. Okay. These are people that names wasn't written in the book of life. They're not a part of the serpent. All right, 2/3. Really just 2/3, because that's the only way your name can be considered to be written in the book. Okay.
This is Revelation 14 and 1. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000.
So that's the people that names were written in the book of life of the Lamb. All right, that's the elect of Israel. Okay. The 144,000 is really specifically the prophets, okay? And the prophets are the ones that are out here teaching. The innumerable multitude is the men, women, and children that follow the gospel, and most of them are people that don't teach. They may give alms, they may listen. At the end of the day, they listen and believe and do the things and exercise the things that they believe, okay?
Having his father's name written in their...
I want to say this for edification's sake. Those people are Israelites. The people that believe the true will, Israelites by the sea, they may look like Edomites, they may look like whatever nation, but by lineage, by bloodline, you're Israelite. You may look like somebody else. All right, I just want to say that, and that's the innumerable multitude which no man can number. All right, because they're all over the world. These people are hidden, you know. Slocky, I kind of keep dwelling on that. Stop it, bro. But you gotta think about it. These are people that that may be in the NFL, they may be in an office job, they may be in a job that their lives is already established. Who that was? Nicodemus? Was that Nicodemus that came to him by night? Yeah. That came to the Lord by night. That's them type of people. That innumerable multitude. Okay. There's people that believe, but based off their lifestyle, their lot, you know what I'm saying, they're not able to, come over on this side. Yeah. So there's people that actually believe, and they worship, and they do everything, all right? And they change their lives, okay?
It says, back up. It says, "And I looked, and lo," Revelation 14 and 1, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads."
Yeah, that goes back to, can we get that, Ezekiel 9, that's right. You know what I'm saying? So read that again, Brother Baba Shah.
It says, Revelations 14 and 1, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads."
Yeah, that's their minds. Okay, that's not talking about the RFID chip, because it says, a mark in the foreheads or in their hands. Okay, which basically that's a physical mark. This mark, which says they have the name written, is pursuing, this is what Ezekiel is alluding to in Revelation, that marking their foreheads. Okay?
This, you want to go in now?
Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So let's read that Revelations again, Baba Shah.
It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
That's the mark. All right, that's scopeo. All right, that's you basically you're what it is? The why.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the definition. It's the why. It says desire or mark, a mark as a sign of exemptment from judgment.
Yep, sign of exemption from judgment. It's like I'm thinking of the other one. I get that one mixed up.
And also to add to what you're saying, the precept when it says a mark, it says a mark upon their foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry. The precept that it has, one of the precepts is Revelation, the 7th chapter. Which, when you go into Revelation, the 7th chapter, that's when it runs down to 12,000 from each tribe being the elect. To further prove the brother's point.
And that further proves with what? That mark is only on Israel. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All these three precepts keep going and stemming back to prophesying, and it's a specific group, okay? And that mark, basically when we preach this gospel and people receive it, because we out here, we're teaching with the passion and we're putting out the energy for the elect. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting there, hey man, you're Israelite, wake up and whoop. When they that's going to Songs of Solomon, when they hear it, they're gonna understand, okay, that's talking about me, man. And then we set a mark upon them. Okay? And plus, coming up and listening, and you get a blessing from a prophet and say, hey man, he alright, man. Of course your walk with the Most High starts from there, but when you get a blessing from a prophet, man, that's a good thing. Okay? And the prophets ain't gonna sit here and just because you agree with him, they're gonna be like, oh, he's cool. Lord, let him in too. It's like, nah, like you judge the spirit. The scriptures tell you that when you're a judge, you gotta judge it right. Going to let's get that. I believe it's in Sirach, 37th chapter. This is going based off how the men of the Lord marks. You can't mark somebody how mark your best friend. Yes, 32. And
Sirach chapter 32, verse 3. Speak thou that are the elder for it. Speak thou that are the elder, for it becometh thee, but the sound of judgment, but with the sound of judgment, and hinder not music.
Yeah, it says, speak thou that art the elder, for it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, right? And hinder not music. So this is just talking about when you got somebody that you're teaching, you don't want to throw off the scripture says it's quenching out the spirit. Alright? So you gotta, whatever you say, gotta adapt to that environment, adapt to whatever that person's going. You don't wanna have a person kinda elated, they got a lot of energy towards something, and then you just pop their balloon on some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the flare, makes you like, damn, I gotta start all over. You know what I'm saying? Now we all got started over at things, but some things you don't. Some things you can just redirect that energy. All right. So when you're a man of the Lord, you teach with sound judgment. Okay. You tell them what it is and what's appropriate, but you got to see what the environment provides for you, or if that person's, you know what I'm saying, if he's zealous about history, we here for prophecies. That's it. Get into the prophecies. Nah, you tell him, you encourage him to get into history. But eventually, you give him some prophecies, something like, hey, that relates to prophecy. that relates to prophecy, you know, keep digging into that history, okay? But as us as apostles, not apostles like we're apostles to people on the street, but our apostles is our elders, all right? But us as prophets, when people come up, we judge them. But no, like again, we ain't gonna say, oh, you're our cousin, you're cool with us. Maybe you can be the elect. That's what this society does with jobs. You know what I'm saying? A person not qualified, and you be like, well, maybe you can work here because you're my cousin, pretty much. You know, and that's not how this truth in this ministry works. All right, even the Lord's, all his brothers wasn't a part of this thing, all of his family. All right, he had 12 disciples. The Lord, if the Lord was a nigga like the rest of, you know, people on planet Earth, he just had all his brothers and had the rest disciples and stuff, man. Try to sneak Mary in and have, you know, or his sister, you know, like nah, man. He kept it a thou wow, man. All right, he kept it for the sake of the environment. Okay.
Revelations.
Yes.
This is Revelations 14 and 2. I'm gonna start at the second half of 1. It says, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
There you go. So they were not defiled with women. What is that talking about? Them having land with women? No. A woman is known as a doctrine too, man. Okay? And this cuts people that talk about that the Holy Spirit, or you know, God the Mother, that the Lord is a woman and a man at the same time and all that. Because why is it talking about a spiritual entity and saying that they will not be defiled by women? If a woman is wisdom, you know what I'm saying? So that tells you, that shows you that it's talking in code or in a parabolic form. Okay, because historically it shows you that women can defile you. So it was referencing other doctrines as women, because when you go into other doctrines, that's called what? Yeah, spiritual fornication. Let's get that in Wisdom of Solomon. Okay?
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 12. It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life.
The devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. What is idol? What comes to idols? Belief. You know what I'm saying? Not just an idol. The idol, like you gotta put yogurt in front of it, you gotta put bread in front of it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put gold, this idol likes this and likes that. There's rules and regulations that come with that idol. Okay? So that's the beginning of spiritual fornication. All right, our people in this time have the idol worship, man. You know, they pick people and they follow their ways, man. Hey, people idolize, what's your boy's name, man? NBA Youngboy, man. They wear his hairstyle, you know, they turn their legs, walk bow-legged like him. You know, there's people that like, you know, do comedy skits, reenacting and showing you how they do. You got like the Beehive. That's idol worship. You know, to be an American, that's idol worship. Okay, because there's an American way. It's not like you're a German. You live in Germany, you say I'm a German, and you're an Israelite, like they had in the scriptures in the book of Acts, where there are men of these nations. All right. They didn't come with the American way. You may speak their language or whatever country you come from. You don't come with their way. You may speak their language, eat their food. You may dance to their music, but you don't cling on to their ways, man. Okay? You can get whatever you
It says, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
Revelations chapter 14, verse 4. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
Yeah, those that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Because the scriptures tell you about a dog returning to his own vomit, right? These were they that were not defiled by women. That's talking about doctrine, okay? They were not defiled by doctrine. You know, and again, the reason why it's reference to a woman is because it's like a relationship. The Lord said in Jeremiah 3:8 that because backsliding Israel did like, you know, pretty much Joseph, you know, though Joseph was a backslider and Judah was the same, that the Lord cut him off and gave him a bill of divorce. That's pretty much calling Israel a woman. And not only a woman, but it's a relationship. All right? The Lord said he did what? He likened Israel into a comely and delicate woman. So again, is that wisdom? You know, because I talked to somebody about it and it made me go down this rabbit hole, and I'm trying to understand why they reference, and they just take it too literal. Because there's many aspects of the Lord representing something in a female spirit or a female atmosphere, and it's for a relationship wise, it's for adding on. You know what I'm saying? Because wisdom is reference to a woman because it adds on to you, and it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? The main thing, the reference to a woman is, the main three things is being weak, a relationship, or adding on. All right? The woman, recognize a woman as a weaker vessel, you know, gird up and show yourselves men. Why does the Lord tell you that? Because a feminine spirit, he said don't be effeminate. So that's more of a weak nature. That's a reference of a woman of being in a weak nature. And then you got the reference of how wisdom shall try you and do this and do that and do that. That's a reference of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But wisdom does what in itself? It adds on to you. It's a help me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're already men. So we know how to do, you know, testosterone-based things and move in a certain manner. We know how to use anger. We know how to use muscle. But wisdom adds on to you and show you how to do that in a more complete manner. Okay, and that's what your woman does. Leave in the house to work. Hey, you got this? You got that? Did you forget this? You know what I'm saying? They add on to you. Okay? But then you got, what's it? Weakness, adding on, and a relationship, man. Alright? And it ain't nothing no bigger than that. It's just a reference, man. And why the Lord references is in relationship to what the woman brings. It ain't talking about a literal woman. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 7:4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
So the stranger is also a woman. That flatter with the words. So the same thing that make you go off is the same spirit that make you be on. You know, that's not, even in heaven that don't work like that. There's spirits that are created for vengeance, and there's spirits that are angelic, man. Meaning they're righteous, man. Okay? People mistake, they don't understand heaven and earth. Because even certain emotions, that's just energies, man. Everybody possesses the same amount of emotions. It's just women possess different levels of it than men do. You know? Yeah, but that's the physical. But when you're talking about, like, you know, it boils down to estrogen and testosterone based off of the body that the Lord put you in. You know what I'm saying? But your spirit still, you know what I'm saying, got that you want to, you know, be emotional, which estrogen based. When you cry over stuff and you do all this and that, man. The Lord put you in that body that matches, like the Lord said in Sirach 32, when he says you can't put a piece of gold and dirt, pretty much. It don't match up. You know what I'm saying? Your body is gold, then he puts you in a wooden or something that don't match that gold. It could be extravagant. It could be a wooden masterpiece, but it just don't match like polka dots and stripes. You know what I'm saying? You can't put one in the other as you're gonna get a woman with a mustache. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a woman with a manly spirit in a woman's body, and it's gonna throw a chemical off. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord normally he puts women type of energy, you know, and it's not a woman's type of energy, it's just an exaggerated energy of emotions. Because we're all angels in heaven, so it's not a woman up there. It's just an energy that pushes a lot of emotional vibes, man. And it just fits that body. It ain't all that, man, all that crazy shit. That people, it's a woman spirit up there. Because the Lord said he's a man. I'm the man that sit on the throne. He never referenced himself as a woman. Okay? So it's not, yeah, I'm a man of war. He that sat up on the throne, my father. Alright? The Lord is not a man for that, man.
His name is Yahweh. He exists, not we.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no waft in there or nothing, man. So that's your answer, you know? So you can't make something more than what it is because you want to say something cool. But again, you know, we're gonna go back to that because that's just something that, you know, through the spirit. And it's at the end of the day, all that shit, when people do that, is unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? We'll find out when we get into the kingdom. Because that's irrelevant. I'm in the middle of a fight. Hey, did you turn that water off? As much of a problem that is not what we need to be talking about right now.
Right.
Water goes out. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting shot at right now. We're in the middle of a shootout. Again, it says a wine at a banquet. Let's read that real quick. Matter of fact, that's Jake's problem. You're trying to scuba dive when it's time to fly, man. You know, like you seem like you're all over the place, but you seem like you're doing something important at the same time. So you woo people that aren't occupied in the times and don't know what time it is, man. You know? It's in 32 and 1. I saw that.
Ecclesiastes 32 and 3. Speak thou that art the elder, for it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, and hinder not music. Pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time.
Hey, you gotta get it.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
I get niggas props when they do, man. That's it cool. I ain't gonna act like I don't see everybody like that. They call it cool to me. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker cool, bro. Like,
Got the drop top.
that's some more hater shit right there. Like, I can't enjoy something because I'm in the truth. No, that looks cool. Yeah.
That is nice.
I would drive it. You know?
It says, Ecclesiastes 32 and 3. Speak thou that art the elder, for it becometh thee.
Yeah, so what the elder does when he speaks, he drops knowledge, he drops wisdom. Okay, go ahead.
But with sound judgment.
But with sound judgment, meaning you gotta be, you can't adulterate the knowledge that you're dropping. All right, you can't tell somebody that one person that, oh yeah, you're an Israelite, you can make it. And they be like, what about smoking? And you be like, yeah, smoking, you can kind of do it, and you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, so you don't give them sound judgment, you give them polluted judgment. And say that they can smoke or that they can eat this or that they can have long hair. That's what they do. Or you can have long hair and be a prophet. No, it's like, nah, man, you can't have that hair, bro. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But I know you're a good person and you try, but you gotta get past that. You know, holler at me when you get past that and you can cross the line.
That's sound doctrine.
Yeah, that's sound judgment. You know, you're telling them, look, you can't, it's like fair. It ain't based off of if I'm angry, I don't like long hair, I don't like short hair, I don't like light skinned niggas, I don't like dark skinned niggas, I don't like females, I don't like, you know, it's not, no, this is sound judgment. This is what the situation requires. The Lord do not allow, oh, you want to prophesy? Well, you can't have long hair. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a man, you can't have long hair as a man. All right? Or just not, you know, they might not be ready for that type of information. You give them the information they need. That's sound judgment, man. Okay?
Can I get this precept real quick?
Go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 10, verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons.
Yep, so you're not supposed to make drosha the word, because this word is not for us. It was divinely given from the Most High Himself. So we got to take care of it with delicacy and respect it. Okay?
It says, but with sound judgment and hinder not music.
Yeah, hinder not music. What is that talking about? That music, the melody. So, like I said, with music, if you're playing something in a B-flat concert scale, you can't come out and say, oh, I know how to play something too, and I start playing with you in a different key. It's gonna sound bad. I don't care how good I play. You know what I'm saying? When I was watching that Cadillac Records, man, you know what I'm saying? You had nigga on the harmonica and shit. He was getting down on a whack ass nigga on the guitar, and then Muddy Waters came and he matched the key and got busy, and that made him start naturally adhering to his music because it matched his music. You know what I'm saying? Your music got to match, even if it's good music. The same thing with knowledge. The knowledge got to be placed in a good environment. I'm not gonna sit here in the middle of a club and be like, yeah, make guy just rushing, you know, like brothers be like, you know, hey man, you supposed to be like, hey man, hey, watch yourself around these bitches, man. And you know, these women, you know, they're like in their snares and nets, man. That's right for that environment. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in a party environment, you know. So that's sound judgment. You know, that's not hindering music. It's like it not. It's a sound judgment, but it's not hindering music. Okay. Yeah.
Says, pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time.
Yeah, you trying to listen to a song, somebody talking over it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, yeah, you cut this. Hey,
so something need to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I would say you, but you said something important, so I guess I just go with the music, but then it makes you feel salty, like you just shut off my vibe just now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's important for that environment? You see somebody chilling and relaxing, then how do you communicate that the Lord is real? You add on to that chilling and relaxing in a righteous way, man. You know, hey brother, you want a sandwich? Give him a turkey sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And you know, add on to that environment. Okay? Just because you know something, I mean you gotta disrupt somebody's environment, man. You know? And that's sound judgment. And we're out here to push that energy. Alright? And that's how people become marked, because they're gonna open up to it, man. Like, damn, this dude peaceful, he's honest, he's this, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
A concert of music in a blanket. Oh, Salaki, it's spelled with a K. In a banquet of wine is as a signet of carbuncle set in gold.
Yeah, so a concert of music and wine is like what?
Is as a signet of carbuncle set in gold.
So when you're saying and doing things at the right time, it amplifies the environment. All right, we don't come out here on Tuesday nights in the middle of a club while people partying and trying to teach. We catch you while you up, you alert, you're not doing too much, and we teach. All right, we're not gonna go in the library and set up camp. We're not gonna go to a protest and set up camp. We're not gonna go to a KKK rally and set up camp. That's setting gold in dirt, man. Cause ain't nobody gonna listen there. I'm not gonna go on social media, Facebook, and do a lesson. Go live on Facebook and do a lesson. Who listen to that shit, man? I ain't gonna say that shit, but that's what they consider it there. You know what I'm saying? And it is shit if you got the spirit on you to do that, man. You know, like the scriptures say, you don't put gold in a pig. It's like gold in a pig's snout, man. You don't cast your pearl to swine. You know, like you don't do that. The word of the Lord is precious. So when you give it to somebody, you give it to somebody that's going to utilize it and keep it, man. You know, like giving a gift to somebody, you're like, hey man, you even gonna use that? You're gonna make sure. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a gift to somebody that they're not gonna use. It's an insult when they, like somebody said I was giving them something. Oh, I give them something for my kid, man. And they said, can you give me a receipt? I said, nah, man. Like I'd rather give me my shit back so I can get what I want from him. I wanted to get that person that. So, no, just give it back. You know what I'm saying? Women do that because they just, I don't even know why, but they put receipts on shit. Yeah, just make sure they bring the receipt. No, I ain't bring no damn receipt. If it don't fit, give it back and I'll get another size. You know what I'm saying?
This is Ecclesiastes 22 and verse 6. It says, a tale out of season is as music and mourning, but stripes and correction of wisdom are never out of time.
Yeah, it's like music and mourning. Like, you know that bitch playing Lil Jon, nigga, cousin just died and shit. Turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Right back in like, oh,
Crying and shit, so you said to make it like a hoe, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that environment, man. You know, like, things gotta match. You know? Go ahead, brother.
As a signet of an emerald set in a work of gold, so is the melody of music the pleasant one.
And the emerald and gold is beautiful. Like jade and gold is beautiful, man. It adds on to the jade. It makes the jade more beautiful. It makes the gold hit more. Okay?
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
So that's how young men add on to information, add on to being in a environment where there's people that are higher than them. You know what I'm saying? Because it also say, don't make thyself, is that coming up? It says, don't make thyself an equal to an elder. Okay, go ahead.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them.
That's why I tell you a lot, brother. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're around older brothers, you can't act like you're an older brother. You know what I'm saying? To fit in. I understand the rhetoric of it, but you still order. You know, so something just as simple as saying, hey, who coming? What y'all think I should do? And you just give them a suggestion. That's offensive to a high-ranking person because, like, nigga, I ain't asked you for your opinion. You're gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a tyrannic thing, but it's just like an order. You know, like if my general said, my general sitting in a room full of soldiers, and there's captains, there's privates, and it says, should we smash them or should we come strategic? Then a private in the back, we should come strategic. Shut the fuck up, soldier. I'm not talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's based off of order where it's like, you really, it says speak when it is need of thee. You really should be listening to how strategy goes. Yeah, keep that foot. You should listen to how strategy goes. They about to drop the game on how to war. So one day when I become a captain or a general, I know how to do it. Instead of trying to fit in, so-called.
That reminds me of 300. Old boy lost his eye. He like, hey, go ahead, go back, rally up the troops. He like, man, I can still fight. I'm good. He like, nah, just do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So where he actually led the next, troops that had came in and everything.
It just wasn't right for that environment. You know what I'm saying? In that case, it wasn't like with the older and younger, but that's like the car bump on the goal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To where he don't fit in that environment. It's like, bro, you're not efficient. You got a fresh wound, and we need somebody to go back. You know, we don't retreat, so you're not retreating. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got a scar. You're unable to war, so why not send you to go do something that we normally? This is like, it was like a perfect opportunity. It was the gold in the car bump because guess what? Like you said, he came back with a larger army. He led the army, and he know about the army. He fought it. You know. He had a, as you can say, an honorable discharge, you know?
It says, and when ancient men are in place, use not many words. Before
I heard it. That's that word. She's a full tilt.
before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor. Rise up betimes, and be not the last, but get thee home without delay.
Yeah. It's like take advantage of your opportunities, man. But you got to start from somewhere. You can't just jump over to something to get to something. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get there. You know? So I don't want to go too deep into that. It's a good read, but we'll get back to the Revelation.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 20, 3 verses. It says, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. No,
yeah, that's that wisdom, man. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. Okay? That unpleasantry is people that, we talking about wisdom, man. Wisdom takes you places. Alright? It takes you places. It's gonna take you, your emotion, your pride, which all that. It's gonna take all that places. And if you can't die daily to these trials, it's gonna delay you. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no credit. It's like playing a video game and don't get no XP points because you did it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it over and over until you figure out, oh, this is how I'm supposed to do it. You're doing it the way you want. No, wisdom gonna try you. Wisdom gonna try your pride. It's gonna try your anger. It's gonna try your over humbleness. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna try your arrogance. You know, it's gonna try all of that. Your manliness. Try your patience, you know. And the thing is, as brothers have said it, and this is a well-known thing, don't ask for something and think it's going to magically pop up. The Lord going to put you through something to get it, and that's the wisdom that tried you. So if you ask for something, don't sit there and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, I don't get it, I don't know, and blah, 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 and oh, why would the Lord do this? Ask the Lord for patience, and then give you somebody retarded at your job, and now you, oh, why is it? Everything is a lesson, man. You know? And if you're, this is the thing. People pray, they get up and walk and just deal with their day. They're not even cognitive of what they prayed for. You know what I'm saying? They just think, I'm gonna get it. You're not looking out for Satan trying to take it from you. And you're not looking at an opportunity for the Lord to give you for you to work for it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? Lord, don't let me argue anymore. It's hell of opportunities that came. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Satan, man, you ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? Then certain things say, oh, you got me that time. Now I know not to do this and this and that. Now I know that. And then you start digging and researching. And then, hey, this is a trial of mine. I start going too far and not arguing. I said, oh, I'm supposed to say something right there. You know what I'm saying? And you go through this trial. And guess what? All that trial is me constantly being wrong, learning how to be right. People just like, I don't want to argue anymore. And if no more arguments for me, I pray for it. No, man. We're gonna go through being a whole lot of wrong to find out how to be a whole lot of right. And that's what that experience. Can you deal with the wind beating on your house like that, man? Your foundation gotta be right. You know, me being non-argumentative, I've been open to people speaking to me, but then people start saying stupid shit, and I have to sit there and say, oh wait, no, I got the foundation stop from going too far. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's like, hey man, you already know what I said, what it is and what it ain't. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't that. That's what the break's at. Okay? Go ahead, buddy.
The etymology of trial goes back to try, which it says examine judiciously, discover by evaluation, test. All right, it says attempt to do. Then it says from Gallo-Roman triere of unknown origin, separate out the good by examination. Okay, it says subject to some strain of patience, endurance, etc.
Yeah, so this is a what does the scripture say? Your trial of faith. You know what I'm saying? 1 Peter 1:7 says Slaki, I go to 6. I'll probably go to 5. Yeah, 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 5. This hey. I'm sorry, 3. It says, blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of the Most High, through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. I'll read it. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. That's the connection to the trial, right? That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth. That's heavy, because it says, what? Ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being more precious than fine gold, not your faith being more precious than fine gold, but the trial of your faith being more precious than fine gold. That means that situation of you going through that moment, that's more precious than fine gold, because that make a man out of it. It says that the trial of your faith being more precious than fine gold that